If you think a lot, understand a lot, and still feel stuck, this episode is for you. Sometimes life feels quiet, not peaceful. Quiet in a strange way, like nothing is moving, like the screen is frozen, like you are waiting for something to happen, but nothing does. Days pass, weeks pass, plans stay in your head, decisions stay unfinished. If you have felt that this is for you, let us stay inside one frame. Assume this is a personal simulation, not a fantasy, not a religion, not motivation. A working model, a way to read what is happening. Inside this simulation, nothing important is random. Not your fears, not your delays, not your doubts, not the same patterns repeating. They are data, they are feedback, they are measurements. And right now, the system is sending a clear signal. Look at how you actually move through life, not what you intend, not what you promise yourself, not what you plan in your head, what you really do. You notice everything. You see risks early. You spot weak points fast. You imagine outcomes in detail. You think 3 steps ahead, sometimes 10. Your mind runs internal simulations all day. What if this goes wrong? What if I lose money? What if I embarrass myself? What if I regret this later? What if I hurt someone? What if this closes a door forever? You rarely feel surprised, because you already rehearsed every possible failure. This looks like intelligence, and it is, but it has a cost. Your system carries a heavy load, not physical, psychological, constant alertness, constant scanning, constant prediction. No predators, no wars, no famine, but endless internal alarms. So your body stays tense, your breathing stays shallow, your jaw stays tight, your shoulders stay raised, your mind stays busy, your energy leaks slowly. And because everything feels risky, you wait, you prepare, you research, you analyze, you hesitate. You are capable of action, but you delay it until it feels safe, until it feels certain, until it feels perfect, which is almost never. So the system quietly logs your current configuration. High awareness, high sensitivity, medium action, not as a judgment, as a reading. Every configuration has weaknesses, not as punishment, as training. One pattern shows up early. You imagine the worst case first, and treat it as likely. You do not think that is one possible outcome. You feel that is probably what will happen. So your nervous system reacts before reality does. Heart tight, stomach heavy, thoughts racing. You pay the emotional cost before anything even happens. The system marks this as prepaid anxiety, low efficiency. Another pattern follows. Uncertainty does not feel neutral to you. It feels unsafe. When you do not know, you freeze, you wait, you search for more information. You reopen tabs, you reread messages, you replay conversations. But this simulation rarely gives full information. On purpose, it is testing how you act without it. Waiting for clarity becomes a trap. Then there is the third pattern. You try to use guilt as fuel. I should do more. I owe more. I am behind. I am disappointing people. I am wasting time. Pressure works briefly, then it drains you. Guilt burns fast and leaves nothing. The system knows this. Guilt is inefficient energy. High damage to stamina, low long-term output. Now comes the part most players miss. You have a quiet advantage. It does not feel dramatic. It does not announce itself. You can observe yourself. You can notice your thoughts. You can feel your tension. You can step back. When you decide to, you can slow your breathing, relax your body, interrupt spirals, regain clarity. Many players cannot do this. They are fully merged with their thoughts. You are not. This is a real buff, but only if used. Unused skills do nothing. The system does not reward potential. It rewards usage. Now, look at your history. Not the details, the structure. Opportunities appear. You hesitate. Ideas form. You delay. Doors open. You wait. Not because life is cruel, because lessons are unfinished. The system repeats tests until behavior changes. The main test here is simple. The system does not give guarantees, ever. No perfect timing, no complete safety, no final confirmation. Waiting for certainty is failing quietly, not dramatically, not visibly, quietly. You are not being protected. You are being tested. Can you move while unsure? Can you choose without proof? Can you act without comfort? That is the test. Every day, in small forms, alongside it runs another test. Fear feels urgent, loud, convincing. It says stop, danger, bad idea, wait. But most of the time, nothing happens. Look back. How many disasters came true? How many fears were accurate? Very few. Fear here is not data. It is interfaced noise. A warning system set to sensitive. The test is whether you can tell signal from static. Then there is the regulation test. When you tighten, the system resists. When you obsess, things stall. When you try to force, energy drops. When you loosen, movement increases. Not dramatically, not magically, slightly, subtly, but consistently. This simulation is not a domination game. It is a regulation game. Calm improves output. Control reduces it. Another loop runs quietly in the background. Your mind keeps declaring emergencies. This is critical. This is dangerous. This is urgent. This could ruin everything. Then nothing happens. Life continues. The system shows you this again and again to teach one rule. Stop living in emergency mode when no emergency exists. Here is the uncomfortable truth. You already understand most of this. You have read, reflected, analyzed. Insight is not the problem. Insight is not currency here. Behavior is. The system does not reward understanding. It rewards embodiment. Knowing the rule is not passing the test. Using it is. So the system waits. At some point, every player reaches a fork. Stay in analysis mode or switch modes. The old mode is careful, cautious, waiting, reassurance, seeking. The new mode is experimental, calm, curious, low stakes, not reckless, not careless, not impulsive, experimental. I will try. I will observe. I will adjust. instead of, I must be sure. Here is how that looks in practice. If an action is reversible, not dangerous, and low cost, do it before thinking too much. Send the message. Apply. Ask. Start. Submit. Publish. Try. The system favors movement. Movement generates data. Data improves decisions. Stillness generates anxiety. When fear appears, do not debate it. Relabel it. Not danger. System pressure. Interface noise. Lower the volume. Continue. No analysis. Long delays are punished here, not mistakes. Decide in hours, not weeks, not months. Speed builds trust in yourself. Delay builds doubt. Replace "what if this fails" with "what happens if I try." Curiosity converts threat into data. There is one executable move. Every day, take one small action that feels slightly uncomfortable, cannot be optimized forever, and moves something forward. One message, one decision, one submission, one boundary, one start. No review afterward. That is the move. Progress here is quiet. No fireworks, no sudden fame, no dramatic turnaround. Instead, your mind gets quieter, your choices get faster. You explain less, you justify less, you hesitate less. You feel lighter, more responsive. Then the system responds. New options appear. New people show up. New problems arrive. Better problems. That is progression. The system is not tracking your thoughts, or your intentions, or your hopes. It tracks whether you moved, whether you tried, whether you avoided, whether you froze, whether you adjusted. That is the score. Earlier we said this is a simulation. The system tests behavior. Outcomes are external. That is still true. You do not control results. You control timing, interpretation, recovery, action. That is the interface. Master that. Whether this model is literal or symbolic does not matter. It works. It reduces panic, restores agency, improves output, because it aligns you with how this system actually operates. You are not broken. You are not late. You are not failing. You are in a test loop, and the loop ends when behavior changes, from watching to testing, from waiting to moving, from predicting to participating. The system is active. It is measuring. It is ready. The next input is yours. If this connected with you, earlier episodes map other mechanics. They connect over time.